Right to Hell Route 666. Right to Hell Retribution is widely considered one of the worst games ever made, with god-awful gameplay and glitches that make it basically unplayable. The game was planned to start a franchise, with spin-offs being announced shortly before its launch. One of these was titled Right to Hell Route 666, a comic book stylized top-down brawler in which the player fights other biker gangs. But due to the abysmal reception of Retribution, Route 666 was cancelled. The discovery of Route 666 was revealed by the user Dusk the Crow on the Media Oasis Discord community. The build was dated April 2013, a few months before the first game's release. The developers apparently had a lot of faith in Retribution. Videos and screenshots for Route 666 was shared on the Hidden Palace, and at least it seems more technically competent than the original. Dinosaurs Against Cosmic Men. Released in 1969, Dinosaurs Against Cosmic Men is a rare Taiwanese tokusatsu film directed by Lee Chuan, known for later working on the Super Riders trilogy. The movie was one of the earliest Taiwan-Japan productions, and served as a precursor to the country's tokusatsu boom in the late 1970s. Despite being exported to several Asian countries, the film became nearly impossible to find over the years, with only a few posters proving its existence. An Indonesian Betamax tape titled King of the Dinosaurs surfaced in the 1980s, containing a unique English dub produced specifically for that country. For years, this Betamax release remained the only known copy, but it had never been digitized. That changed in July 2025, when video collector Booty Prestigio digitized the tape and uploaded it to the Internet Archive. The dub itself was produced in Indonesia, not for an official export, making the original Mandarin audio for Dinosaurs Against Cosmic Men still lost. SpongeBob 4D pre-show video. In 2003, the motion simulator ride SpongeBob SquarePants 4D debuted at several Paramount theme parks. Based on the show we all know and love, the ride follows SpongeBob on a chaotic quest to find an on-the-run pickle while teaching guests how to assemble a Krabby Patty. To entertain guests in line, a pre-show video played on loop, showing SpongeBob reflecting on memories from the show and celebrating the excitement of waiting in line. For years, this pre-show video was lost media, with only low-quality clips and screenshots surviving. Thankfully, on July 5th, 2025, the Twitter account Lost Media Busters tweeted about the lost pre-show, prompting a reply from a different user named greenthing_CTR. They revealed they had downloaded the full pre-show years ago from an old YouTube upload before it was taken down. The next day, they sent the footage to the Lost Media Busters, who subsequently made it available on their YouTube account. Picasso Print Retrospective Exhibition Commercial. It's weird shit like this that makes me interested in lost media. In October 2011, a Japanese user uploaded a strange commercial to YouTube. It was an ad for the hair product brand Donto, but what caught viewers off guard was the 2-second clip that played immediately after it ended. It showed a digitized black and white image of a man's distorted face staring into the camera. The face was incredibly unnerving, so much so that it sparked widespread speculation across Japanese message boards. Some believed it was a horror program or a cursed broadcast, while others pointed out that the image looked like a photo of Pablo Picasso. Eventually, in July 2025, YouTuber Kumamon identified the clip as part of a commercial for the Picasso Print Retrospective Exhibition, a real event during the 1980s. The full commercial was then uploaded that month. When You Wish Upon a Weinstein Early Draft. When You Wish Upon a Weinstein is the classic episode of Family Guy, in which Peter tries to convert his son into Judaism for financial reasons. But what many fans don't know is that there's an earlier draft of the episode's script. Under the production code 2ACX02, this draft featured entirely different scenes and jokes, and even a scrapped musical number. This early script was mentioned in passing through DVD commentary and interviews with Seth MacFarlane. In 2020, Twitter user Classic Swim revealed that they owned a copy of the script. They shared images of the script online, which contained the majority of the draft. The following month, the script was converted into a PDF and shared through Google Drive, though the file has since been deleted. In 2024, a user named Random Viewer Guide revealed that he had a copy of the script and planned to release it in the future. And in July of this year, he finally uploaded it to the Internet Archive. Fist of the North Star uncensored footage. Fist of the North Star is a Japanese film based on the anime manga of the same name, starring Kenshiro, a martial artist who fights enemies in a post-apocalyptic world. The theatrical release of the film featured heavy violence, something which the manga was known for. Apparently, the animators even studied human anatomy to get the gory parts of the film as accurate as possible. Because of that, home video releases were heavily censored, and the original uncensored version of the film was deemed lost, surviving only in part of the Italian VHS release. Then, out of nowhere, on July 13th, 2025, the anime preservation group Kaneko Video randomly shadow dropped all of the uncensored footage in a tweet. In their Internet Archive post of the footage, they explained that the scenes were discovered attached to a 35mm print of the censored version, and they suggest that theaters were told to physically splice the scenes from their copies and replace them with the edited ones. They also note that it's highly unlikely that these scenes would ever be re-released officially. Peg plus Cat pilots. Among the many shows with lost pilots being found this year is Peg plus Cat, a 2013 children's educational cartoon made by the Fred Rogers Company. The show is about a girl named Peg and her cat, who taught kids about math. 2 years prior, in 2011, a pitch pilot for the series was made, but it has long been lost media since. Only snippets were available on different animation reels from people who worked on the show, but the full pilot was never made available. Then in 2025, the pilot was found hiding in plain sight on series producer Jaslyn Dema's Vimeo account, where it had been quietly uploaded a year prior. I'm with Stupid. I'm with Stupid was an unsold American game show that had a pilot filmed in 2003. That's right, 2025 is indeed the year of lost pilots. Anyways, the pilot was hosted by Graham Norton and features pairs of contestants with deliberately foolish partners trying to complete simple challenges. After the pilot was taped at Tribune Studios, it failed to secure a network pickup and was shelved, effectively becoming lost media. For years, the pilot was incredibly obscure, and only a brief clip was available online. In 2025, a full recording of the pilot surfaced online, courtesy of the Game Show Vault, a YouTube channel known for uploading many pilots to obscure game shows throughout the years. Exploring Frogs. Exploring Frogs is an early 2000s educational game about frogs. Who would have guessed? However, there was actually a mini search for this game, as hardly any information could be found, and it was incredibly obscure. Basically, it started in 2023, when a Discord user inquired about the game in the Lost Media Wiki Discord server. Quote, I played this early 2000s computer game as a kid, but I've never been able to locate any media from the actual gameplay, despite knowing the name. My disc is damaged beyond use, unfortunately. But I have this photo of the disc. It is called Exploring Frogs. Eventually, users were able to find a listing for the game from Walmart Canada, but the requester was inactive. It was even unclear if the game could run at all after 20 years. Thankfully, in 2025, a copy was eventually secured by Discord user TrovGCM, who made it available online. Eddie Retractorhead. Eddie Retractorhead was a series of 1-minute animated shorts that aired on Nickelodeon UK in 2008. Produced by Cosgrove Hall, best known for classic cartoons like Danger Mouse, the shorts featured a blob of mucus named Eddie, and his other blob friend named Blam Blob. After their brief broadcast run, the Eddie Retractorhead episodes were never officially released on home media or online, though efforts to recover the series spanned across several years. The episodes, trailer, Space Day, and Exploditus were all that remained for some years. Then in 2019, the episodes House and Speed Photo were uploaded online by editor Tracy Cleland as part of her resume. By the tail end of July, all the episodes in high quality were suddenly online thanks to a person named Jordan Wright, who worked on the show. Wright acquired these episodes courtesy of show director Gene Flynn. Hey guys, Blameitonjorge here, and if you enjoyed this video, I have a Spotify page now, which is super cool, and you can listen to a lot of my videos there. It's super cool seeing like comments on some of the older videos, especially the ones that have been like copied and marked for kids, because they removed the comments. So it's cool seeing people, re-comment on those videos in a different kind of way. But yeah, I'll leave a link to the Spotify page down below, and on with the video. Meet the Sniper Magnum Force Remix. As part of their promotional campaign for Team Fortress 2, Valve released a video titled Meet the Sniper in 2008. The short featured the sniper character as they explained the joys, downsides, and philosophies of sniping. The video contains a catchy tune in the background, later revealed to be a remix of the main theme for the 1973 action thriller film Magnum Force. Due to copyright concerns, a full, clean recording of the remix has never been released. It wasn't in the game, on any YouTube video, or even on Valve's official album containing music from Team Fortress 2. Throughout the years, many have attempted to recreate the song to varying degrees of accuracy. Suddenly, in August of this year, repositories for Team Fortress 2 and Source Filmmaker were leaked by an anonymous user. The leak supposedly originated from the Valve Cut Content Discord server, and within it was a clean recording of the Magnum Force remix. The Muppets Present Pitch Video. The Muppets Present was the working title for a proposed revival of The Muppet Show in the early 2000s. It's a bit unclear why the show was never picked up, but the cancellation of another Muppet show, Muppets Tonight, may have played a part. Regardless, a pitch video was produced to propose the show to networks. According to the Muppet Wiki, Pepe would have boasted that this new show was edgy, but Kermit protested, claiming that the Muppets don't say ass.
Hip and edgy?
See, I show you again.
Alright.
The new Muppet Show is going to kiss ass, okay?
Pepe, we don't say that word.
Which word?
Ass.
Just say ass.
Although the show was never made, the script for the first episode was posted online. Later in 2025, a YouTube channel called A Bagel retrieved the pitch video from Chris Stolz, who ran the Muppet Stuff blog. A Bagel digitized the footage and made it available online. He even posted an uncompressed version on the Internet Archive. And yeah, it's definitely a bit out there. Corpse Party New Chapter. Corpse Party is a 1996 Japanese survival horror game starring a group of students who must find their way out of an abandoned, haunted school. Corpse Party New Chapter is a mobile remake of the original, but with new chapters, characters, and enhanced visuals. It was released in 2006, but as years pass and Japan's old cell phone network shut down, New Chapter became unplayable and lost. Not only that, but only 4 of the 5 planned chapters were ever released. In 2025, members of the Kitai Wiki Discord made a shocking discovery. A user named Yuku dumped several games from vintage phones, and among them were the first 4 chapters of Corpse Party New Chapter. To my understanding, the 5th chapter is still lost, but since it was never released, it's like super lost. Should I Stay or Should I Go? Flashlight Brown cover. In 2003, Canadian punk band Flashlight Brown recorded a cover of the Clash's Should I Stay or Should I Go for the Rugrats Go Wild movie soundtrack. However, the cover was replaced by the original Clash version, and the band's own song Ready to Roll appears in the film as well. Flashlight Brown briefly hosted the cover on a hidden page on their website, but then the site went offline and the track became lost media. In 2025, a Lost Media Wiki user discovered that someone using the handle Sonic Smoker, great name by the way, had shared the song on SoulSeek, a peer-to-peer network. To Tell the Truth pilot. To Tell the Truth is a classic American game show first appearing in 1956, and has been rebooted several times throughout the years. Despite its longevity, one episode had lingered in obscurity, an unaired pilot for the 2000 revival. In 1999, Pearson Television filmed a trial episode as it prepared to bring To Tell the Truth back to syndication, with actor John O'Hurley as host. The pilot featured the classic format, celebrity panelists guessing which of the 3 contestants is telling the truth, but updated for the new millennium. Unfortunately, the pilot was never picked up, and the only information about the episode came from an old Google Groups thread by an audience member. Other than a few clips and a photo of the ticket to the episode, nothing else remained for several years. But, as per usual with obscure lost pilots to game shows, good old The Game Show Vault uploaded a studio master of the pilot to YouTube. The Aquabats Aqua Battle. The Aquabats Super Show is something I genuinely had no idea existed. Granted, it had a fairly short run, from 2012 to 2014, but thanks to a successful Kickstarter campaign, it was revived as a YouTube series. Anyways, the Aquabats Aqua Battle was a Flash-based web game created in 2012 to promote the show. In the game, the comic rock band embark on a side-scrolling beat-em-up adventure matching the campy superhero vibe of their series. The game was hosted on the Hub's website, but after the site went under and Adobe Flash was discontinued, Aqua Battle became unplayable. However, the first of its 3 levels was still playable on a Chinese website of all places. Efforts to recover the game took place, but it wouldn't be until August 2025 when the remaining levels and assets were recovered and added to the Flashpoint Archive, a web game preservation library, making the game playable for the first time in years. Swabbies. Alright guys, September was a pretty dry month for lost media discoveries, but these two are pretty fascinating. First up is Swabbies, which was an old Walt Disney special from the 1980s, and the plot is insane. It involves Mickey, Goofy, and Donald joining the Navy to pay rent. For whatever reason, the special's release was halted, despite being storyboarded and recorded. Since then, Swabbies has been deemed lost for 40 years. In 2025, a story reel dated November 7th, 1985 was listed for sale on Julian's Auctions. The buyer is unknown, and how it even began circulating online is also unknown. What is known is that the purchase came with a memo from Van Critters to Katzenberg, who called the cartoon, quote, "not funny." Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro Thor cutscene. Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro is a sequel to the classic 2000s game Spider-Man. The game was intended to be released on September 18th of 2001. However, due to the September 11th attacks, the game was delayed and censored. Notably, the final level, which originally had Spidey fight Electro on top of the World Trade Center. However, there was also a long-standing rumor that another scene was cut from the game, in which Thor shows up after Electro is defeated. Thor doesn't appear in the final version of the game, but there is a joke in which Spidey discovers that the Daily Bugle credited Thor for defeating Electro. There wasn't a whole lot of evidence for this Thor scene, and when the uncensored version of the game was found a few years back, this supposed Thor cutscene was not in the game. The cutscene became something of an urban legend, with some Reddit users claiming to have seen it around the time of the game's final October release. Then on June 3rd, 2023, there was a breakthrough. Discord user Spider Glider discovered on an old backup of Activision's now defunct Spider-Man game page a file named Spidey_MOV.jpg. It turns out this file was a thumbnail for a video download of the rumored cutscene, confirming its existence. Sadly, however, the video file itself wasn't preserved, and because of how old it was believed that it would be extremely unlikely to reappear. However, against all odds, in September of 2025, after reading the Lost Media Wiki article, funny enough, a Reddit user named BobbyFan85 realized that they still had the missing MOV file saved on their old hard drive. They have since posted it onto the Internet Archive, finally solving this decades-old myth.